Welcome back to Flex and Guts by Moxie Weld. I'm Moxie, your host of Metalsmith. If you're new to the channel, this channel is all about welding, metalsmithing, tips and tricks, fun projects, and so much more. So let's get into it. Alright, so a quick little update. Yesterday was my first day of class. I am taking a CWI class to become a certified welding inspector. So that's been pretty exciting. I've been kind of nervous, but definitely excited about it. And so what I'm going to be doing probably for the next few weeks, unless something really cool comes up at work that I want to show you guys, I will be taking really cool things that I'm learning in class and reteaching them here with you guys so I can share with you guys like the super awesome stuff I've learned. So such as today, I had taught myself how to read weld symbols. And my dad was awesome and printed this out for me and got it laminated. And I literally just I took this everywhere. I studied this and just tried to memorize it. And then when I was on the job using it, I would always have this with me so that I can reference it if I forgot what something was. And that's basically how I learned how to use welding symbols, and just with enough practice and using it all the time, eventually it would just stay in my toolbox and I didn't really need to carry it with me anymore. In my class though, my instructor taught it in a very easy to understand way, and I wish like I would have had somebody teach me weld symbols the way he taught weld symbols. It was so easy to understand, made perfect sense. So if I can simplify anything and help you guys and share whatever I'm learning with you guys, I think I hit the microphone, sorry. But I want to be able to share everything I'm learning with you guys so I can make things easier for you as I'm learning, that they can be so much easier and they don't have to be complicated and scary and overwhelming. So here is just a couple of tips, little shortcuts of learning weld symbols to help break it down and make it easier to grasp and understand. So hopefully this helps you guys out, and let's go. Alright guys, so let's just do a few basic weld symbols to break it down in a very simple, easy way to understand, the way that my instructor broke it down for us in class. So here we go. And it's weird because I'm drawing this on the board, but I'm drawing it looking at it through the camera, so bear with me here. Okay. So let's do a simple V groove for right now. You see this symbol, and then let's just break it down to what this actually is. Okay? Go like that. Boom. Your weld symbol just turned into your two pieces of metal with your V groove right there. Alright, so let's try another one. Let's try this symbol. Now that's a square groove. How do we know? Well, let's just go back and turn this sucker into a drawing of two pieces of metal. Whoops, sorry. Again, drawing kind of... I'm not an artist by any means. At least not with the pen. And there we have a square groove. We got our two pieces of metal. So it's that simple. Okay. But now what if we have something a little bit more complicated? What do we do? Okay, so when you're learning weld symbols, You always do the bottom side. The bottom side is arrow side, so wherever the arrow is pointing to. Top side is other side. Okay, now let's turn this back into 2 pieces of metal. Or actually, it'll be 3. What does that look like to you? If we were to flip that upside down, what is that? Let's, again, kind of hard to draw on the board and with the camera. Doesn't that look like a regular, V groove with the backer bar? Exactly. So that is literally what that weld symbol means. Is that you're going to have a V groove with a backing strip. I know I kind of drew that not very square there. Alright, so you guys can just Google this chart, and you can print out whichever option looks clearest, I guess. You can also find it at AWS A2. Study up, it definitely helps, but if you break down the weld symbols and draw it out like actual metal drawings, like if you're drawing the metal out, it breaks it down. It makes it so much easier to understand. And even when it comes to all this, I know this looks like scary, overwhelming, and complicated, but actually even the way all of this reads is super simple. You just take it one thing at a time. Say for instance, that you have your root opening, your angle, your contour, and your finish. And when you're doing something like, where is it? Okay, like your V groove, that's the order you start in anyway. Actually, hold on, let's draw that out. Alright, so I pre-drew this out actually, just to save time on the video. So, okay. Just say, for instance, we're taking apart this one little part right here, right? The root, the angle, the contour, the finish. Okay. So, I'm using the V groove a lot, just mostly because that's a very common one, a very common welds seen in the field. So here, if we see a symbol that looks like this, yeah, it looks kind of intimidating. There's a lot going on there. But let's break it down. It's a V groove, a 1/8 root opening, 45-degree bevel, or it would be divided in half, so it'd be the 22.5 degrees per side, right? So your bevel is going to be, that's your typical bevel, is the 22.5 degrees. Your contour line is going to be flat, so your weld is not going to be, sticking up over the middle. It's going to be ground flat. Okay, so that's where the G comes in, because that's your finish. You're going to grind it flat. This is the flat. Otherwise, it can either be like concave or convex, but we don't have that. We have a flat line. This is the order that you work in when you're doing this anyway. So let's draw that out. Now we have our 2 pieces of metal, our very common beveled edges, which is usually 22.5 degrees each side, which totals to 45. We typically have a root opening of 1/8. Not always, it always depends on what we're doing, but that's just one of the most common ones. And then the weld, after it's welded, is going to be ground flat. And since it's arrow side, we're looking at it like that. Let's just flip it up. So this is the normal way we see it. Whoops, sorry guys. So even reading the root, the angle, the contour, the finish, it all goes in the order in which we work. We always start with the root. Then it's like filling up that angle there. We have our weld, and then what we're going to do with our weld. So even reading something like that, it works in the order in which we typically work already. So break it down one thing at a time, and go slow at first when you're practicing, and then slowly start adding things, or get some if you have like sample prints or whatever, you can practice using the chart, and just practice little by little. Go slow, and the more you practice, the faster you'll get, and the faster you become, the more you memorize it, then you can get rid of this thing altogether, and you don't have to draw out everything, and you'll be like a pro running along in no time. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this helps you guys out and helps you get started on learning weld symbols and really grasping it in a more clear way, in a less scary, complicated kind of way. So get out there, be MOXILICIOUS, do something that scares you, have the nerve, the guts to get out there and do it, and understanding something as complicated and scary as weld symbols, understanding it in an easier way like this, hopefully will make it easier to just have the guts and the confidence to walk onto a job site and say, yeah, I read weld symbols. And, you know, be able to move around and maybe even get another job that you know, that's some qualification for the job, and you can make even a little bit more money. So hopefully this helps you guys out. I'm excited to share everything with you guys. You guys are coming on this journey with me, and it'll be exciting to share every little bit with you guys. So thanks for sticking around and watching. I really hope that everything I'm providing for you guys helps you out in some way or another, or even if it's in the future down the road, you remember, oh, that's right, that one episode she did, yeah, I can do that, or whatever. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. My information's in the link below, or in the description below, excuse me. And yeah, guys, be MOXILICIOUS. Post your MOXILICIOUS moments at hashtag #BeMoxilicious on Instagram, so we can all get to share in your MOXILICIOUS moments, and we can all learn from each other and build each other up, build each other's confidence, and be rooting for each other. All right, so you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next Monday at 3.